Let's go.
So I let the intro play on this one because it's not like earth-shattering news like Marvel Tokon was, but it is still crazy to see that we got to look at year 3 of the Street Fighter 6 DLC characters in the funniest possible way. Because at first I thought it was gonna be like a second AW game, or it was just gonna be like a tease like it was for Street Fighter 5 when they announced Rose, when they used Kenny to announce Rose. But nah, this time they just used Kenny to straight up announce all 4 of the upcoming Street Fighter 6 DLC characters. We're gonna get Alex, my goddamn man, bro. I've been waiting for him since Street Fighter 5. Then we got Zagat. Then we got Sea Viper, who I knew would be back. And then we got INGRID, which is wild. It's fucking like, that is the one character that I was sure would never come back in a Street Fighter game. And it's kind of insane because her new design kind of goes hard, I'm not gonna lie. And so do all the other characters' new designs. But going back from the beginning, we have Kenny cosplaying as each of the characters' original designs to announce each of them, and they knew that people were gonna be bugging out with the way that they announced each character, because first, Alex, which I am most excited for because I made Alex in Street Fighter 5, and I tried him in Third Strike, but he didn't really speak to me. Funny enough, 12 ended up speaking to me in Third Strike. And the way they announced it was, I thought it was just gonna be Alex because Kenny plays Alex in Street Fighter 5 too. But then they go ahead and transfer over to Crimson Viper, a character that I'm surprised wasn't even in Street Fighter 5. But I was damn sure she was gonna be back someday because, bro, look at Crimson Viper. This is one of the coolest looking characters of the post Street Fighter 4 era of Street Fighter. And funny enough, years ago on one of the first videos I made for this channel, which I deleted thankfully now because the audio was awful, I recorded it on my phone, I went through and said who would be the first pack of DLC for Street Fighter 6, and on that list was Crimson Viper. I made a whole new redesign for her and everything. But looking at her brand new redesign, it's goddamn immaculate. It's beautiful. Absolutely chef's kiss. And it was teased that we would get her back in the World Tour mode if you played as one of Jury's students, because they would talk about how Jury and Crimson Viper would go on heists together. Then we got the absolute jump scare that was INGRID, and they treated it like a jump scare too, which is hilarious because they had Kenny look into a puddle and go, "Ooh!" And one of the funniest, most self-aware things I think I've seen from Capcom in a long time now is that they knew that this would be a controversial decision. And it is insane that it's even happening because INGRID probably is the most hated Street Fighter character that I can think of. I can't think of a character that is more hated than INGRID in the community. Like, there are characters that are infamous, there are characters that are very love them or you hate them, but INGRID is one of the sole characters in the Street Fighter franchise that over 90% of the fan base hate. I don't care much about her because I never really played Capcom Fighting Evolution, and I never played the version of Street Fighter Alpha that she was in. I'm sort of indifferent to her, but I do know the baggage that does come with INGRID. And then finally, we got our first look at Sagat, and sadly, it seems like he's going to be one of the characters that is always relegated to DLC, which sucks because he's in the same boat as Akuma, as characters that Capcom knows you will pay for because they are so damn cool. Like, they know you're not going to pay for it. Like, they know less people are going to pay for E Honda and Blanca than those who would pay for Sagat and Akuma. So it's sad that he's been relegated to probably Eternal DLC now, but hey, it's still cool to see him. And then to end off the trailer, after those Kenny cosplays that are actually kind of top tier, they did not spare any expense when they came to those cosplays. But after that, we got to see the promotional art of all of the new characters' designs. And honestly, I think all of these are great. We got Sagat with the pelt around his shoulders and his wrappings from more TIE fighting going all the way up his arms, and we also get to see his eye patch being turned into this sort of pseudo eye patch headband look. And now we get to see Viper. Whew! Yeah, damn, they did a good job with this design. I mean, they went absolutely hard here. It is the perfect evolution of her old Street Fighter 4 design into the new age, because they went from an all-black fit to an all-white fit, making her feel much more regal and in charge. Then we got her with the slick back hair and the classic yellow shades and the black tie and the see-through fabric on the chest window to make sure that the color palette stays nice and in sync and well balanced. Then we get over to Alex, and to be fair, I was kind of scared for another redesign of Alex, because in SF5 they did not do my boy well. But in all honesty, I am loving the Street Fighter 6 design. They really knew how to give my boy a comeback. Now instead of his bandana, we have him wearing a beanie, which still gives the shadowy eye effect that the bandana gave, but this time they did something fun with it by having his face paint go up into the bandana. Then we have him wearing the standard Street Fighter sparring gloves with some wrestling elbow pads. Then to pull it all together, he's shirtless with a jacket that is, I think, a callback to one of the Street Fighter 3 official arts, where he has a jacket that's similar, but it's brown and it has long sleeves. I may be thinking of something else. I may just be thinking of Garo Muck of the Wolves theory, but I'm pretty sure. If I'm not right, I'll go ahead and put it in the edit. But as we look above him, we have INGRID, which in all honesty, I know a lot of y'all hate her, but this design kinda goes hard, I'm not gonna lie. They really captured her deal with being the god of the Street Fighter and Capcom universe perfectly, much more than they did with her original design. The lilac purple mixed with the silver, the gold, and the white really gives her an air of divinity and really makes her feel like she is above most characters in the Street Fighter universe. And her old hairstyle was turned into this sort of fantasy game looking headpiece. I can't really tell just from this image alone. I would have to see it in motion to see if it's inspired by anything, but just from the looks of it here, I think it looks great. I'm really interested to see what they do with her gameplay wise. I think more than any of the other characters, because like I said earlier, I never played a game with her in it, so I really want to see what they do with her. But yeah, I think all of the Year 3 Street Fighter character designs look great. I have to see them in motion to give a real solid opinion on them, but just from this promotional art alone, they look amazing. And speaking of seeing them in motion, we got to see Sagat in motion, so seems like he's gonna be the first one up for the DLC. And it looked like he's just doing some standard Sagat stuff, but I'm sure he's gonna be getting something new coming into Street Fighter 6, because everybody gets something new here. So yeah, I can't wait to see what that new stuff is, and I can't wait to see what everybody else plays like, because this Year 3 trailer is honestly great. No notes, 100% perfect. Kenny, you did a great job. Now we just gotta see him make an entrance as Alex at some sort of pay-per-view, because that would be absolutely peak. I mean, he's an Alex main in Street Fighter 5, so it has to happen at some point, right? But yeah, sadly no Makoto, sadly no Sean, sadly no 12, and sadly no Remy. I know I'm the only one that cares about those last two. Oh, and also sadly no Q, but I know this game is gonna be going on for a while, so we will get at least a few of them. But I'm happy to say we are getting more Street Fighter 3 representation. I was going to say that Alex was the first, but now we got Alex and Elena, so please keep that coming. And yeah, overall, I'm happy with this Street Fighter DLC announcement. How do you feel about it? What do you want to see in the DLC? How do you want them to play? And how do you feel about INGRID coming back? Because I know some of you are going to have some really intense thoughts about that, but go ahead and leave all those in the comments. Make sure to like, subscribe, and hit that bell button. I've been High and Breezy. I was here, and I did the best I can. Later.
I know that you be back.